Yes, we are back. Takeaways with Tay. Back on this lovely Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. And I'm excited. I'm excited for a couple of different reasons, right? First of all, we are midway through I've been challenging myself to do this every Sunday for a year. And we're about halfway through. We're like on month 6, which is super exciting for me. I'm going to celebrate that. And also, this week has been filled with a lot of events in my life that I am going to be talking about today. So I'm super excited. Hold on, I'm hearing some feedback I don't like. Let me turn this down. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, welcome to Takeaways with Tay, where I am your host, Tay, and I share key takeaways from books that I've read so that you don't have to. But today's episode is a little bit different, I should say. Normally, I share takeaways from books that I've read, but today I will be sharing takeaways from an experience that I had recently. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it, because this episode is going to be filled with a lot of jewels, a lot of gems. And so, all right, so I've been promoting this song called Bye, and I wrote it. My best friend, London Elixir, is the producer of that song, and we created it together. And we recently got a sync placement with HBO Max. Oh my gosh, yes. If I had sound effects, I would put the oh my gosh. But yes, we got a sync placement with HBO Max, the Penguin series. So for those of you who don't know what a sync placement is, it basically means that our song Bye is playing in the Penguin series. Oh my god. Okay. It's like, no, I'm just playing. Our song is playing in the Penguin series. And not only is it playing in the Penguin series, it's playing in the premiere episode, meaning the episode where the most people will see it, right? So this is my first time having a song that is being millions of people will hear it, right? And they probably have no idea, not even probably, they don't even know that I exist yet. So it's super exciting for me. I have been on cloud 9 for the past 3-4 days, and I'm super grateful, first of all, to God, but secondly, I want to talk about this whole thing, how we were able to do this, what the challenges we faced were, how we were able to overcome those challenges, and share some takeaways from that experience so that you all can receive value, hopefully so that you can receive value in that and apply it to your own life. So let's talk about the experience, right? Once again, I created the song with my best friend. Her name is London Elixir, and she is also from Columbus, Ohio. We're both from Columbus, Ohio. And we created this song back in 2022 of December. So literally Christmas Eve of 2022. And we did not get notified about them wanting to use our music until May of this year. So we created the song, just to give you a timeline. We created the song in 2022 December, and then about a year and a half later, we get information that they want to use our song in the show. The show hasn't come out yet, and for those of you who are watching the Penguin series literally just came out this past Thursday. So it debuted this past Thursday, which was September 19th, which was my brother's birthday. So, okay, a lot of things going on, right? A lot of things. My brother, Chavin, he would have been 37 years old on this past Thursday, which was September 19th. So all of this is very surreal for me, just to put everything into perspective for you guys. But once again, so we wrote the song in December, Christmas Eve of 2022. We got notified about them wanting to use the song in May of 2024. And then the episode actually aired nationwide September 19th, which was this past Thursday. So we threw a watch party. We had a really great time. But to talk about the experience, right? So when my best friend first came to me and asked me if I could write to or write, right? She's like, well, I call her the queen of sync. She gets a lot of different placements with different TV shows, from Disney Plus to ESPN to BET to MTV. So she's very in this saturated, or I should say engulfed in the sync world. This is my first time actually getting a sync placement, so it's a huge thing for me, right? But we were able to leverage her connections in the sync world in order to basically get the placement. Now, her just being as forward thinking as she is, she reached out to me back in December of 2022, and she asked me if I was interested in writing, from a certain perspective. She had this song that she produced, and she thought it would be a good fit for a sync placement. So she told me to write with the perspective, or from the perspective, of Harley Quinn, and to have for the song to have like an edge to it, and for it to be kind of like bipolar in its delivery. So like, some parts are like really calm, and then other parts are very intense. And so I had no idea who Harley Quinn was, but I was like, yeah, like, let's do it. I was open-minded. I was like, if anything, this is a lyrical exercise for me. So as an artist, I'm always looking for ways to practice my craft and to practice telling stories from different points of view. So for me, it was another lyrical exercise for me. So I wrote the whole song in maybe 2 hours, hook included. And this doesn't include the time that it took me to research, because I had to look up Harley Quinn and actually become acquainted with her character and kind of dive into who she was, what was she interested in, who were her villains, her arch nemesis, things like that. So once I gathered that information, I dived into her world. I had to put on her shoes in order to speak from her perspective. And then I not only did I have to do that, but then I had to channel the energy of what if a Harley Quinn was delivering this song, what would she sound like, right? So I had to step outside of myself, and I had to step outside of Taylor and what Taylor sounds like, how Taylor would approach a situation. And I had to dive into a whole nother character, which was different for me. As an artist, I'm typically writing from my point of view. Now, I have done different writing activities where I've looked at things from other points of view, but that's just to kind of put you guys into the perspective of where I'm coming from here. So I did that, and then I sent her back the song. She's like, yo, this is dope. Like, let's record it, like, as soon as we can. Now, keep in mind, when she sent the song to me, I was in Ohio at the time. We both live in Atlanta, but I was in Ohio at the time. And I was unsure of when I would be able to return back to Atlanta for personal reasons. And so it was kind of like an unexpected trip that I didn't know that I was going to have to take to Ohio. And I ended up there, and then I ended up having to stay for some time. So while I was there, being the supportive friend that she is, she called me, she asked me, this is London, I'm talking about London, the producer of the song. She called me and she asked me, if there was anything that I needed while I was in Columbus, because she was going to be flying to Columbus from Atlanta for the holidays. And I said, yeah, actually. She was thinking like clothes, etc. I was thinking, you know what, like, clothes is fine. I don't need any clothes. And like I said, this was a very personal experience of the reason why I was in Ohio. So I won't go into details. But anyways, I said, can you bring my music equipment? I had left all my music equipment in Atlanta, and, being an artist, you kind of feel like you're stuck. Like, you can't get into your creative zone because all of your creative equipment or your space is in a whole nother city. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind bringing that equipment. So I'm talking my musical interface, my beat machine, my microphone, my tripod, things, all that. Long story short, she met up with my roommate. My roommate gathered all the things for me and then gave it to her. And then, shout out to everybody involved. Like, you guys are the greatest people ever, and I really appreciate you guys. But yeah, they met up. He gave her the materials to bring with her to Ohio. She flew to Ohio on the plane with my equipment, heavy equipment. We met up. She gave it to me, and then we decided to put a date on the calendar for us to actually record the song, right? Because we said we're going to record it. Now, there were so many things that came into place that kind of disrupted our ability to be able to record it. Number one, while we were in Ohio, we couldn't, for some reason, the microphone stand that I needed to record, she wasn't able to bring that specifically, so I had to order a new one, right? So I ordered it, and we were trying to make sure it would be here on time within the window that she was going to be in Columbus. Then on top of that, there was a snowstorm. So anybody from Ohio knows that in the wintertime it snows, and it can be very, very dangerous, right? So the day that we had set for us to actually record the song, there was a snowstorm. So we ended up having to postpone the recording because, of course, she lived all the way on the east side of town, and I lived all the way on the west side of town, where at least where I was on the west side of town. And it was no way we were going to be able to get to each other safely. There was like cars spun out on the freeway, all this stuff, all this crazy stuff. So we decided to postpone the recording, and it was getting closer and closer to the day that she was getting ready to leave Columbus. So she told me, she was like, maybe we should just, maybe you can just wait until you come back to Atlanta to record a song, and we can get it done that way. And a part of me was like, no, I can't wait, because if anybody knows me, you know that if I wait, it won't get done. So I was like, nope, I'm gonna get it done. We're gonna figure out a way to get it done. Let's find a date. So she was like, okay, maybe let's try Christmas Eve. My family will be here, so we have to get it done earlier in the day, because they have their family does a Christmas Eve party Christmas party on Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day. So she was like, just come early, we'll knock it out, etc., and then we'll that'll be that. So we were able to do that. I went to her mother's house on Christmas Eve, and we were first in the loft recording, and then people started coming for the Christmas Eve celebration. So we got moved to the basement, right? Because sound travels in the loft. So we got moved to the basement. While we were in the basement, if anyone has ever been in a basement, it was an unfinished basement. We were in the basement, and there was the sounds, like the basements have sounds. They have the sound of like the what is that? The gas and electric, all that is down there, right? So you have all these sounds, all these water pipes, sounds of water going through the house, etc. And so we're in the basement and we're recording, and you can literally hear the background noise of the basement. Kid you not. It's the craziest thing ever, right? So, and then also you hear people coming in the door because, like I said, it was a Christmas party. So her family's arriving, and we're all there. We record the song. Long story short, we end up recording it, and then I stay and enjoy Christmas Eve with her family. But then, so she takes the song back, takes it back to Atlanta, mixes it, masters it, basically gets it ready for consumption. And then she plugs it into a library for music supervisors so that they can shop. And music supervisors are the people that basically place music in different TV and film productions. So she puts it in a library for them to shop for, songs for their production. And that was that. We both left it. We didn't think anything of it. We created multiple songs too. We did that song. We did 2 other songs. And this is also not the first time that we've submitted music for sync placements. But so fast forward, she sends me an email, and she shows me a screenshot of a music supervisor that reached out to her that wanted to use our song in the Penguin series. Now we're fast forwarding a year and a half later. We are both out doing who knows what and have no idea that I forgot that the song even existed. I'm not gonna lie. So now we are basically going crazy because we're like, what? Like, we just got a sync placement. It's paid. It's like, we don't know what part of the song they're going to use, but we know that they're going to use the song. So now we're starting to plan ahead, release party. How do we want to, what's the rollout looking like, all these things. And literally, like, it was like I saw it in my head. I saw the rollout. Once I knew that we had the placement, I saw the rollout. I was like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do a watch party. We're going to put the song out first. We're going to let people get accustomed to it. We're going to put it out, keep putting it out and sharing it so that people can hear it. And then the night that the show drops, we're going to have a watch party. We're going to record the watch party. We're going to capture the reaction of her and I, and then share that with the world. And then after that, we're going to reiterate. We're going to follow up with different PR. We're going to go on a PR run, right? So 10 TV, Columbus, WBNS, all these different Columbus news stations, because it's relevant, because we're both from Columbus, Ohio. And literally it's all panning out, right? So it's all panning out, literally. And we're here. That brings us to today, where we've had the watch party. We released the reaction video. Instagram has been going crazy, like mentions, DM, it's been going crazy. And now we're at the part where hopefully we can go ahead and go on this PR run and get interviews and different people interested in covering the story, because it's an incredible story. And so I say all that to say, because I share all that because there's some key takeaways that I feel as though someone is watching this can really take away from this. And the first one is to be tenacious. So when I say that, back when we were trying to figure out how to record the song, we faced a lot of different obstacles, such as not having equipment, having to bring the equipment from one state to another state, not being able to go to the original recording session because of the weather, things that were out of our control, right? The weather, snowstorm, we want to stay safe. And then on top of that, we faced recording issues with just the sound, the atmosphere of the sound. For anyone that doesn't know, when you're recording a song, the space needs to be very quiet, because everything that you hear in the room will translate into the song, and it'll sound very muddy. It'll sound very unclear and things like that. So we faced a lot of different trials and I'll say obstacles while we were trying to record it, but we didn't let that stop us, and we were tenacious, and we still recorded the song. So that's why my first takeaway is be tenacious with whatever it is that you're trying to do or you're trying to accomplish, because you never know how just following through on an action and just executing it, how it can lead to something else. And that leads me to my next takeaway, which is so daily. And when I say so daily, I mean create habits that help you get into the mind state and the rhythm of just doing, executing, and honing your craft. So like so daily for me was like, I was already practicing my craft. I was already trying to figure out different delivery styles so that I could best deliver a particular message. Because when you're an artist, there's so many different ways that you can deliver a message so that you can get it across the most effectively. So, sometimes if a song is very somber or sad, you might take on the role of a very melancholy or kind of like sad delivery, right? If the song is very energetic, you're going to take on a very more energetic type of delivery. You're going to be very loud. You're going to be very expressive. You're going to be very intentional, right? And so that's across the board, just with anything that you're creating, is that as an artist, you have to really channel the emotion that you're trying to capture. And so for me, the emotion that I was trying to capture in that song was this bipolar, sporadic, calm at sometimes, but can go off at the whim at like any moment, unpredictable character, right? That I don't even know, never met, never even really watched anything about Harley Quinn. And for me, it's just a testament to just how much I've been putting into things, because like I said, sewing daily, I didn't know that all of this was going to bring about a sync placement with DC Comics. Like I had no idea that this song that I was writing and recording on Christmas Eve in 2022 would be playing in front of millions of people in the world of the DC comic universe. And now I have a song on HBO. Like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. This is like, it's crazy, right? And I'm literally here to say, like, just continue to sow daily, whatever that looks like for you. Like, do that, because you never know what can happen. And don't do it because you're looking for something in return. Do it because you genuinely want to do it. Like, when I'm writing and when I'm practicing, it's because I really want to be really great at what it is that I do. I'm not doing it because I want a sync placement, although sync placements are nice. I'm doing it because I really, really enjoy expressing. I really, really enjoy tapping into different characters and being able to challenge myself to channel emotions that I might not normally be comfortable channeling. And also, the third takeaway is to use what you have. So all the equipment that I have to create music, and it can be bought, right, for like underneath, I would say under $500. And the money that we got for this placement was well over $500. So when I say use what you have, sometimes we think we need to have the best studio, the best equipment, the best people, the best resources, the best budget. And a lot of times that's not realistic. A lot of times we don't have the best resources. We don't have the best equipment. We don't even have the best people on our team. We might not even have the best way of thinking about something, but that doesn't mean that you can't still do something. So you got to use what you have. You have to take what you have right here, right now, and know that it is sufficient for whatever it is that you're trying to bring about into this world. And so I'm saying that because we literally recorded this in a basement. And if I could like reiterate anything, it's just the fact that it was in a basement. We were not in a multi-million-dollar studio with $1 million equipment, with $1 million engineer and $1 million budget. We were in the basement on Christmas Eve. And we were recording a song with pretty standard, mediocre equipment and just a vision and an execution on that vision. So use what you have to do whatever it is that you feel you're called to do. And I share all of this because one of the biggest things that I'm grateful for is just I'm grateful for a lot. Like, I'm grateful for the people in my life that have allowed me the space to be able to create in the way that I do. I'm thankful for the atmosphere that is inside of my home when I am creating, because it gives me peace and it gives me a space to just tap into different worlds, different characters, be myself, without considering how other people might take something. And I'm very thankful to have friends that are also in the same industry that I'm in, because that's a big thing too, is like with having London as my friend in this situation, I didn't have to worry about somebody taking advantage of me. I didn't have to worry about someone not giving me my fair share. Jasmine, I call her Jasmine. Her name is also London. She goes by London. Her real name is Jasmine. So I always get it. I'm always saying Jazz because I know her as Jasmine. But she was very transparent. Jazz was very transparent in how much we were going to make, what were the splits going to be. And I appreciated all of that, because if anybody knows anything about the music industry, it's the complete opposite. People are just doing really bad deals, taking advantage of people, and they're very greedy. They're very selfish, and so it was a blessing. It is a blessing to be able to have a friend like Jasmine in this situation that was able to, we were able to split everything 50-50. And also there's no ambiguity about anything. It's no nothing. It is what it is. And we can celebrate it now. We can celebrate it fully because we had the business taken care of way before this song had even like anybody even considered using it in their TV show. So I usually come on and I usually talk about, what I should do better and things like that. But I'm here to say that I'm really proud of myself for that. I'm really proud of myself for just the execution, the follow through, the friendship, all of that I've cultivated through time. And also just to remind people like you all that things take time. Things take time. I've been doing music for 8 years now. This is year 8 for me. So at the end of this year, it'll be year 8 for me, which is crazy to think about. I got started at the end of 2017. So yeah, like things take time, and there were a lot of things that were out of my control that had to line up in order for this moment to happen. So as much as, me being prepared and knowing my craft, honing my craft, and being able to articulate my thoughts so that someone else could relate, etc., like that's just part of it. Another part of it was just having a friend that's also in the industry that also understands. Another part of it was having music supervisors that were looking for this type of sound for this particular soundtrack of a production. Another part of it was the weather doing what the weather should do so that we could even meet up and like have this moment of being able to record. Another part of it was just being in a space where recording was a challenge, but we knew we had the technical expertise to know how to adjust the sound equipment so that we could record it in the best way possible. We literally had to turn down the gain on our interface like as down as we could without having no sound, but we had to turn the gain down so that it didn't pick up the sound of the basement, all the sounds that were going on in the basement. So it was a lot that went into this, and it just reminds me too of how much I believe in God. It reminds me how much God is present, because there's no better way that this could have been orchestrated. There's no better outcome, no better situation. Like, it happened exactly how it was supposed to happen, when it was supposed to happen, and timing is literally everything. A lot of times with these movies and these productions, they are years ahead. So like something that is going to be released this year, they started filming it probably literally 2022, 2023. They started all of that. So like being ahead of time, or not, I shouldn't say being ahead of time, but just being prepared and being in the right place at the right time, it plays a big role in being able to have things like this happen. So if you haven't listened to the song is called Bye. It's on all streaming platforms, on Apple Music, it's on YouTube, it's on Tidal, it's on Spotify. Anywhere where you can stream music, it is available. It is by me and my best friend, London Elixir. She is the producer. I am the writer. And we just got a sync placement with HBO Max, which is showing the Penguin series. So if you don't know, the Penguin is the arch nemesis of Batman. You should definitely go watch it. It was a really great show. We had a really great time at the watch party. Shout out to everybody that came through, everybody that helps me put the party together, send out the invites. Shout out to Ivan for hosting the space, giving us the space to come and enjoy ourselves. We had popcorn. I mean, it was really nice. So I'm still on cloud 9. I'm slowly coming back down and getting ready for what's next. But right now I'm like living in this reality, and I'm really grateful for this experience. I'm really grateful for just to have a moment like this, and then for also it to happen on my brother's birthday, which was 9/19, is like even more surreal and incredible. And I really thank God for that. I thank God for the opportunity to be able to share my gifts and be in this position. So I don't take any of it light. I hope you all were able to gain something from this episode. We didn't read a book. I didn't read any books. This week has been crazy. I didn't read any books. But I did have a very, very different experience that I felt like if I shared takeaways from that, you guys could get something from it. So leave a comment. Let me know what you are, what you're interested in learning more about. If you have any questions about, the sync placement, how to access music supervisors. If you're interested in getting a sync placement yourself, please leave that in the comment section. Share this with a friend. Share this with an entrepreneur or an artist or a producer or someone that is in the same this industry, because this industry is crazy. And like all those great things, continue to watch and tune in. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, I will see you next Sunday, inshallah. Peace, y'all.